2015, there were rumors about Nintendo working on a new system. Everyone was referring to its codename NX, and we knew nothing about it. On October 20th, 2016, Nintendo finally decided to announce the console as the Nintendo Switch and showed it off as a hybrid. Now, I know that I was part of the crowd that was skeptical. Yeah, when the Switch first came out, we didn't believe in it. Yeah, I was skeptical of the Nintendo Switch. Yo, turn the light off, man. Damn, turn the light off. Yeah, I was skeptical of it. Didn't think that it was gonna sell good. And you know what? I was proven wrong. But I'm glad that it was successful. Oh, yo, look at the Nintendo Wii U. The support we got over there. There is no way that the Switch could be successful. After the system launched in March, this thing sold out everywhere. I could not understand what the heck was going on. Why was people buying into this? What was the hype about? So I decided to try and get my hands on one. This thing could not be found anywhere. When I say I got my hands on this system, I was extremely surprised at how good this thing was. So the question in 2019 is, did the Nintendo Switch live up to the hype? And I'm gonna let you decide. Now, the Nintendo Switch launched with a few titles. Super Bomberman R, Wipeout, and, oh yeah, Zelda Breath of the Wild. One of the highest rated games of all time. One of the games that's currently sitting at a 97 on Metacritic still after all these years. One of those games that if you drop a hate video talking about it, people are going to show up and destroy your channel, which I highly discourage. Not only did Nintendo start off strong with something like Zelda, after a few months, if you were into different types of games, they were working for you. Hey, you like RPGs? Go get Disgaea. Hey, you like racing games? Go get you Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Hey, you just finished Disgaea. Go get I Am Setsuna. Or if you into building things and Minecraft is your thing, is it mine? But hey, that was ready for you the first year too. We got so many heavy hitters. Sonic Mania, Mario Rabbids, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It was so many games in the first year that I put a lot of time into. It made year one worthwhile for me. Now, year one had an extremely nice lineup in my opinion. A very, very strong lineup in year one. A lot of consoles don't have that strong start. I had the PlayStation 4 when it first came out, year one. To be honest, the only games I really liked year one was 2K14 and Infamous. After such a strong year one, how in the world could Nintendo follow that up in year two? Surely they were going to be thin titles because they came out swinging too early first on. Wrong. In year two, Nintendo ported over a lot of their games. They brought us a couple collections, including Bayonetta, and they also got third-party support. Now, if you're a person who owned the Wii U, you would know that third-party support was really, really weak on the Wii U. A lot of people didn't own the system. The people who did own the system did not buy the third-party games because they were the inferior versions. So a lot of people were skeptical about jumping in and putting money into the Switch. But when third-party companies realized that the Nintendo Switch was one of the best-selling consoles and was on par at first to catch up with the PS2, they decided to jump on the bandwagon. Now, I wouldn't say in year two that it was completely weak because we did get Octopath Traveler, which this game was super hyped and sold out everywhere also. But Nintendo got that third-party support that every system needs. I own all consoles. I have the PS4, I own the Switch, I own the PC, and actually I sold my Xbox One. But when it comes down to it, I understand how important it is to get third-party support because first-party titles are not constantly coming out like that. Sony starts off slow and they usually finish it off strong with a bunch of first-party titles at the end of the generation. Microsoft seems to be doing the complete opposite right now. And I understand that between those titles, you need games to get you there. And that's what third-party support is very important. And the Switch got that. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my Nintendo Switch, but I'm also a fair person. The Switch isn't without its issues. It's 2019 and we still do not have themes. We still don't have native voice chat, unless you're playing Fortnite, which it was rumored that the Switch wasn't capable of doing native voice chat, but Fortnite has proven that it is very possible. Also, the Wii U had free internet. But now we're paying for online. And with us paying for online, we're getting mostly NES games. And we still don't have dedicated servers for great games like Super Smash Bros. And to be honest, the Nintendo Switch isn't exactly the most comfortable thing that you can hold, which is why I bought a Satisfy grip. But what sells this? What's the biggest draw of the Nintendo Switch? What is making everyone love this system so much? It's the portability. Well, I don't think that portability is an excuse for poor performing games. When games are optimized for the Switch, this is where the system shines. Imagine if someone told you a couple years ago that you would be able to sit at home, play a console, and when it was time to get up and go on a trip, you can pick that console up, walk out the door, and keep playing your games. This is the reality that the Nintendo Switch gives us. If I'm sitting down and I'm playing my Nintendo Switch on the television, and let's say my wife wants to watch TV, or she wants to play a different system on the TV, I can literally grab my Switch out of the dock, sit in the bed, and we're now splitting the TV. She has the TV, and I have my Switch in handheld mode. This is a beautiful feature. Not only did the Wii U attempt to do this, but it didn't do it as good. The Wii U gamepad was just huge. Didn't nobody want that brick? I'm sorry. But when it comes down to the Switch, it was way smaller. It's more convenient. The Joy-Cons come off so you can put a screen in one pocket, some Joy-Cons in the other pocket, and do your thing. But the Switch just gets you right with that portability factor. And while I do see a lot of people use that excuse for other instances, I can say it does make the Nintendo Switch one of the most convenient systems probably ever. When you look at the Switch when it first came out, a big complaint about the Switch was the battery. Since then, developers have found ways to optimize their games so it's not a battery eater, so that you can get a lot of time out of your games. Unless you're playing 2K, I don't know, that kills my thing after one game. But outside of games like 2K, the recent releases tend to let you get hours out of your Switch on its battery life before dying. And this issue can also be fixed with a power bank. I bought a power bank, a huge one at that. It fits in my Satisfy case, so I can take it everywhere I go, and I charge my Switch, and my Switch can literally last all day if I needed to. There's ways around these things, and if you get stuff like a power bank, you get a grip, you can get around a lot of the issues with the Switch. Taking everything into the account, in 2019, is the Switch worth it? And I say 100% without a doubt. Now, I love my Switch, and if I had to list my top 10 favorite games, I would definitely list games like Zelda Breath of the Wild, Let's Go Pikachu, Super Smash Bros., Splatoon 2, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Mario Odyssey, Disgaea 5, Mario Rabbids, Pokken Tournament, and World of Final Fantasy. Now, all of those games are first-party titles, but in my opinion, RPGs that aren't graphically demanding just work so much better on the Switch. I could sit at my PC and play World of Final Fantasy. I could sit at my PS4 and play that, but why not play that laying in the bed? Why not play that when I'm on my lunch break at work? Switch makes it convenient. And not only does it make it convenient, it provides a quality experience. To see something as open as Zelda Breath of the Wild in a handheld experience, I don't think we've ever seen something like that before. And while I personally had my gripes with Zelda when it first came out, by the time I made it to the end of the game, I appreciated it that much more. Once you get all your stamina up there, hey, it's not a problem. Climbing somewhere isn't a problem. Flying somewhere isn't a problem. Navigating because there's quick travel just isn't a problem. There are some issues with the game. I'm not going to spoil anything, even though it's been years. I wasn't a fan of the final boss. But Nintendo gets it right. And also, before I get out of here, I want to talk about how Nintendo is handling DLC. With the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo is handling downloadable content the best out of anybody in this generation. It doesn't feel like greed when it comes to DLC. Let's say you get a DLC for a game like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, one of my favorite RPGs. In order for you to get the DLC, obviously you gotta buy it, it's paid DLC, but they don't introduce no small crap. The Torna DLC is an entirely different story. It's a prequel. It's a whole nother game that you bought during the season pass to get. Beautiful DLC. Splatoon 2, constant updates, constantly bringing us new levels, constantly bringing us new guns, and an extremely fun shooter for free. 90% of the time when you get DLC in a Nintendo game, it's worthwhile. It's not content that when you first get the system, for the most part, that is locked down behind a disc. Now, there are third-party people that's going to obviously get on and do stuff like that. But when it comes to Nintendo's first-party titles, they do DLC right. And yes, there are issues with the console. Yes, they included the grip that didn't charge when it had a grip that charged. Yes, you have to buy an adapter to use Ethernet. These are issues that you can't gloss over, and they may raise flags to you. But overall, with the stuff that's included with the Switch, it's worth it. At $299 still, all these years later, going into year 3, still worth it. So please leave in the comment section what you think. Is the Nintendo Switch worth it? Do you not have a Switch and you're still on the edge or on the fence of getting it? Let me know what you think in the comment section. But at the end of the day, thank you for your time. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.